during this particular state visit only the best way we can. So keep it locked for more updates on this. Well, in light of the developing story around the lifting of the lockdown, the banking sector remains a key cog in the recovery of the economy following the easing of containment measures. My colleague Brian George Otieno is standing by to have that conversation. Over to you, Brian.
Thank you so much for finding time for us. We are speaking to Mr. Chege Thumbi, the CEO of CDN Bank. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you, and good afternoon, and how are you?
Keeping well, sir. So we just want to dive right into the conversation in the banking sector right now, but with particular focus on CDN Bank. And looking at the 2021 financial results, would you tell us how the bank has performed and how you are able to, get by during these tough times, especially now that we are facing the lockdown and so many job losses?
I think when you look at our performance so far, starting from 2020 and going forward to 2021, the pandemic last year, of course, created many challenges for everyone in the country, everyone in the sector, the banking sector, and of course around the world. For us as CDN Bank, our focus, as you know from the history of the bank, we are an SME bank focusing on the small, medium enterprises, as well as the micro customers spread across the country in our 42 branches. So when the pandemic came in last year, it did affect our number of our customers, especially those in the hospitality sector as well as schools. But generally, the other sectors, we were not affected much. Our focus has been a lot more on trade finance solutions. Trade in the sense that we're supporting customers with specific contracts that they need to execute and continue supporting the economy. So as an example, if, for example, I talk about the infrastructure projects, some of our customers who are spread across the country supporting the big contractors, most of those projects has continued, and therefore the performance of those, especially the donor-funded projects, continued, especially after the lockdown was removed sometime towards that quarter of last year. So if you look at our numbers, we did perform well, focusing on short-term lending and structured trade finance solutions that sometimes do not entail the traditional way of giving just overdrafts or working capital, but structured solutions around trade finance. And that has been our flagship in the last 3 or 4 years. That has continued to help the bank support the customers across all different sectors in the country. So briefly looking at 2021, we started the year strong as the government continued implementing various infrastructure projects, but also our customers taking advantage of the opportunities that exist in the market. For example, despite the challenges people have to eat, we have a lot of our customers who are doing trade business across the country, whether they are shopkeepers, whether they are hardware shops, whether they are people doing logistics, moving agricultural products from the farms to the shops, to the supermarkets. Those are our type of customers that we continue to support daily with short-term funding, with the solutions that we listen to each and every customer and are able to structure products to suit their requirements. And also small contractors, SMEs that are supporting the large contractors in different sectors of the economy.
Thank you for painting that picture for us and giving us sort of a portfolio of the businesses that you finance. And trade finance has remained a flagship product for CDN Bank. But you have another fund called the WASH Fund. Would you tell us more about this, please?
So WASH is water and sanitation projects. So anywhere you have water, water is life, as we all know.
Sure.
With the pandemic, for example, we have many areas where POC, including the Nairobi Metropolitan, is supplying water to various informal settlements around in Nairobi. But as a bank, we then supplement or complement what the government and other donors are doing. In some of the projects, we work with organizations like AMREF to ensure that people around the country, not just in Nairobi, are able to access clean water, that they're able to get things like boreholes or piped water, or even other related water and sanitation projects. Some even boreholes where they're able to grow some vegetables in some of the areas in Kajiado and other parts of the country. So that has gone well. We've been able to, so far since last year, disburse slightly more than 100 million shillings.
Wow.
Our target with our partners, Aqua for all, it's probably to disburse about 400 million in the coming months. There's a big impact when you make water available, especially to the population that is struggling or population that has no access to clean water. The impact is huge because it impacts more than just individuals, but also the entire communities in the areas that we are supporting.
Great. Thank you for giving us that figure, because I'm thinking 100 million shillings is no pocket change. So how many projects were this funded?
There are many projects that we have funded because it all depends on some are smaller projects, community projects that may not involve a lot of money, but others are projects that involve like digging a borehole, which may cost 2 to 3 million shillings, and others is extension of pipes to extend from where there is storage of water to bigger communities. I don't have the perfect figure of the total number, but I can assure you there are hundreds of projects that we have financed. We tend to finance more than 1,000 in the days ahead.
Great. That said, though, the funding that you give to entrepreneurs has not come easy, and of course they have been reporting a bit of challenges here and there. What are some of the challenges that entrepreneurs that depend on Cedian Bank for financing have been experiencing and reporting, and how has Cedian Bank as a business partner been able to assist them?
So SMEs or entrepreneurs, the biggest challenge sometimes they face is access to credit. And when they face these challenges, for us as Cedian Bank, what we have done is then to try and figure out, many of them do not have security, which traditional banks have always asked for. And that is where we combine our solutions with trade finance.
Okay.
As an example, when you get a contract from one of the big players, we're able to use other instruments like local letters of credit or even guarantees that ensure that an SME is able to execute the contract, whereas we guarantee that the supplier of the products that they require or raw materials that are required will be paid upon the completion of the project. A good example for us where we partnered with one of our SMEs is, for example, the execution of a COVID center that was funded by the donors around the hospital. So we were able to support that customer with different solutions mixed, where we guarantee, for example, the supply of steel or supply of cement, and where they need to pay workers, we're able to give them money to be able to pay workers, even as they wait for payment from their main client who had contracted that project. And that applies also to many other projects that we support SMEs. When they are supplying products, we are able to guarantee their main supplier, where we ensure that once they supply the products, they are also paid and we recover our money. So it's a mix of different solutions depending on every SME requirements. We have an open door policy where we listen to the customers. We are able to tailor-make the solutions for different SMEs. Okay. And where there are challenges, we try to look for solutions to ensure that they succeed in their businesses. If you go, for example, in our new branch in Gikomba, we're able to help even the traders who are importing goods from China or other countries, where we're able to give them even a secure facilities. But they have to ensure as we give them those products, help them to clear at the customs or even pay for duties, eventually when they sell, they're able to pay back. And we have seen a lot of confidence with the customers where we support them during these difficult times, because it's a question of working together, supporting them, and listening to them, and being there with them even when times are difficult. Of course, there are many other SMEs who face challenges of delayed payments from their counterparties. It could be the government, could be the government, it could be other entities that are also facing challenges. And in those situations, then we're able to work for solutions where we extend moratoriums or we extend additional facilities and help the customers to diversify their business so that they're also not dependent on one client as they do their business.
Wow, fair enough. Let's now shift focus back to Cedian Bank as an institution. And we've had a lot of disruptions coming by COVID. Of course, perhaps you couldn't have all your employees working on site. What is the post-COVID recovery mechanism for CDN Bank?
So for CDN Bank, what we have been doing this pandemic, we spread most of our teams, especially in head office, into two teams, Team A's and Team B's. None of these teams work together during this particular period. So they're either based in branches closer to their homes, or others are based in locations that are away from head office. And so far what we have seen is despite the cases that we have had in the bank, we thank God that none of them has, all of them have recovered. Those who are still in the recovery work. But we have had to, with our business continuity program, we've been able to serve our customers uninterrupted through even digital channels and physically in our branches as well as in the head office. And as we move forward, this is a big lesson for us that with the COVID, what we have learned is we can serve our customers closer to where they operate because we can have business teams closer to where the customers are. And also we can also use technology to serve them. As an example, what we introduced earlier last year, CDN Bank Credible, that allows customers to be able to access things like bid bonds directly from their offices or their homes without coming to our office. And that is straight through. So when they are tendering for any business, they can apply for these bid bonds online, whether they are our own customers or even on customers, we are allowing them to be able to use this online solution. It makes it easy for customers to then be able to bid for contracts in parastatus government, the government, and also access us through technology, whether it's telephone, and if there's a physical requirement, they can choose which branch they want to be served across the country. So for us, it's a wake-up call, but also we have been able to adapt very well with the challenges that have been brought by COVID. Of course, the order of work is changing. Like today, for example, this call we're doing through Zoom. So same case tomorrow we can do, and we are doing similar calls with customers where we can support them and interact with them and provide solutions. Digital banking has greatly improved in the bank, and we continue to do even better. Customers can do almost 99% of the transactions without necessarily coming or interacting physically with our staff across the entire bank in the country.
Great, thank you. Because you've alluded to the digital transactions that are happening right now, how are you making them safe for the customer so that they do not fall prey to any, online scams or perhaps cybercrime and stand losing their money, especially at such hard times? How do you make it the internet banking safe for the client?
For us, we put solutions that make sure that the customer and the bank is protected. We've invested heavily in different solutions in cyber security in the bank.
Okay.
Some of the solutions, for example, we can assure our customers is there's no transaction that any customer can complete unless, for example, they get a one-time password that confirms that really we are doing the right customer. Even if you change your phone today and you're one of our customers, you'll not be able to transact because we have kept specific information about your phone in our systems. That device is known by our systems, and anytime there's a change, then we'll ensure that anybody holding that phone illegally or wrongly cannot penetrate our systems in any way. What I can assure our customers is our systems are safe, secure. We have 24/7 monitoring, including sending real-time alerts on any transaction that happens in the customer's account at any given time.
As we put this matter to rest, let's talk about the regulator and their role in enabling, just the general banking sector to stay afloat at such hard times. What has the government done to support not just CDN Bank, but generally the banking sector really to stand during these times?
I think one of the biggest support that we got, especially from Central Bank last year, and that continues, is the first one, of course, the reduction in the cash reserve ratio that allowed for the entire banking sector up to 35 billion to be available for onward lending to our customers instead of holding it in the Central Bank. And that 5 billion is not a small amount of money, especially when you look at the SMEs. When they get that kind of money, they can continue doing their business. The second support that we got from Central Bank and the government at large is that the customers that were facing challenges, they were allowed up to 1 year to be able to get their facilities restructured, or facilities getting moratoriums, or facilities being looked at when they don't have cash flow, that the banks are not forcing customers to pay, or even being listed in CRB, or facilities being called out. That has been a great initiative by the government and Central Bank, and we are grateful that the governor has taken that initiative. But beyond also the government and the Central Bank, the banks also understand that customers are going through challenges, and we as CDN Bank and the entire banking sector, we listen to our customers. We are ready to look at the cash flow of each and every customer, and then structure their facilities in line with the existing cash flow. We, for example, can reduce the repayments at this point and increase it when the cash flow improves. Or when the customer is paid, we are able to recover much more. And when they don't have money, we are able to structure such that probably monthly payment can be quarterly, can be half yearly. But banks are flexible, banks are listening, banks are here because the success of this economic recovery for the country is good for the banking sector. And the banks are part of the economy. So banks are supporting customers to recover, and so that all of us will move together as a team. We're in it together. We all be affected or being affected together. If we do not support, then the economy will suffer as a whole. But I can assure you, we as CDN Bank and as well as on behalf of the banking sector, we're ready to support the customers so that the economy of this country can recover and recover quickly.
All right, many thanks, Brian George. Very interesting conversation around the stability of the financial sector.